In a world where progress never sleeps, one company stands out as the driving force behind infrastructure and energy solutions. Introducing our fuel company and cement producer, where excellence meets efficiency. Jar Oil. The company have 30 filling stations across the country that are all operating, which includes the recently completed Yarambamba and Old Yundum filling stations. And our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Along the years, Jar Oil introduces importation and distribution of cement in their line of business to diversify and strengthen their operations. Are you a cement retailer? At the moment, Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market. With a focus on sustainability and innovation, we are paving the way for a greener, stronger future. Trust in us to fuel your projects and lay the groundwork for success. We currently produce over 25,200,000 bags per year. As the largest cement producer in the country, Jar Oil also targets to export cement to the neighboring countries like Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, and others. Join us on our journey to shape a world where every drop of fuel and every bag of cement makes a difference. Together, we can build a brighter tomorrow.
14.5 minutes past 8 o'clock in the morning is the time in the Gambia. It's Wednesday, the 9th of April, 2025. And live on West Coast Radio, you're listening to Coffee Time with Peter Gomez. On YouTube, our sponsors are Jar Oil and Wave. Now, we were going to begin this morning in the Sukuta Salaji layout, where there are tears and ruins in the aftermath of government-ordered demolitions. But as we came on air, our plans had to change because the UDP issued this statement, which I will now read through, and then maybe try to get a reaction from State House. The UDP statement by the media team is headed, UDP condemns misuse of public funds and demands refund of the money spent on President's mother's security per diem. The United Democratic Party, UDP, strongly condemns the alleged misuse of taxpayers' money after what seems to be an authentic letter from the Office of the President surfaced on social media, requesting $3,625,957.80 butoots to cover per diem allowances for security personnel accompanying the President's mother on a foreign medical trip, the Secretary General and other officials. The leaked document has sparked public outrage, with many questioning why state funds are being used to finance the personal travel expenses of the President's extended family. Under Gambian law, taxpayers are only obligated to cover the legitimate expenses of the first family. That's the President, spouse, and dependent children, not extended relatives. This expenditure is a clear violation of fiscal responsibility and an unjust burden on citizens already struggling with economic hardships. Why should hard-working Gambians foot the bill for the President's mother's medical trip? If the President wishes to provide his mother with security, he should do so from his own pocket, not the national treasury. If the government is paying for security per diems, it implies that taxpayers may also be covering the full cost of the trip, including flights, accommodation, and medical bills, an unacceptable misuse of public resources. The UDP is therefore calling for 1. An immediate refund of the money to state coffers, 2. A full audit of all travel expenses related to the President's family to ensure no further misuse of funds, and 3. Transparency from the Finance Ministry on whether this is part of a pattern of unjustified expenditures. This is not a personal attack on the President's family, but a matter of accountability. Public funds must be used for public good, not private benefits. The UDP vows to pursue this matter through parliamentary channels and legal avenues if necessary, and that not a single dalasi of taxpayer money should be spent on the President's extended family. And this, as I said, has come from the UDP media team. Okay, we'll go to a quick commercial break. And during that time, I'll try to place a call to State House to see if we can get any response on the statement I've just read.
Excellent jam, Mr. Wave.
Yo, apply. Yo, luta do dede. Luta mo nulo jël moto nga andil ma xaalis. Hello? Ano lay waxal?
Bisul mu fine.
What?
Bisul mu fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave Axina Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills, and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. At Wave. Bisul mu fine? Wave. Your money is yours.
Welcome back, and as promised, we have succeeded in placing a call to State House, and joining me now on the line from number 1 Marina Parade is the Minister at the Presidency, Alhaji Maud K. Sise. Alhaji Maud, good morning, and thanks for coming on West Coast Radio this morning.
Peter, thank you. Thank you so much, too.
Very good. You've heard the statement by the UDP. What's your response?
Very unfortunate, because we're talking about more than a 90-year-old mom, privacy here, medical checkup, which she went to Dakar.
And just before you continue, Alhaji, just before you continue, so this is a genuine communique from the Office of the Presidency, is it?
Yes, the letter is genuine. The letter is real. And it's condemnable, the action of whoever leaked the document, because it's a restricted letter that shouldn't have gone to in the way it went out. We are checking, and it's a grievous misconduct. That is what it is. On the statement, it's unfortunate having to discuss privacy of a very old woman that deserves respect and recognition at the highest level. First, let me just clarify. Of the $3.6 million it quoted, only about 1.4 was in respect of this particular trip, and it's paid to officers accompanying the old woman with respect to security and chaperones and two drivers. So nothing is spent in respect of medical bill or per diem to the old lady. That is largely the responsibility of the president. He has taken care of that. And these officers is their entitlement. They have work to do, and they've been paid for their duty carried out, and nothing else. So the question of refund does not even arise. It's a legitimate expenditure, and will be paid. Now, that the UDP would choose to pick this kind of issues and went publicly about it, I think it's just a distraction over recent relations happening with respect to BCC and KNC councils, and the public should not be fooled about it. Nothing, I repeat, is wrong with the expenses made in respect of this particular trip. Like I said, the officers paid and the drivers were are entitled to be paid. And it is the responsibility of the state to protect the Coast family, which includes also the mother of the president.
Okay, so where's the remainder of the money if not all 3.6 million was spent?
The remainder of the money was, as you can see in the letter, it was a block request for multiple of unrelated trips, in fact. But because they were on account of similar trips like air tickets and per diems, You had the request of this particular trip, which comprises of the like I said, the old woman, and the security details and drivers. But of course, the Secretary General is stated there. Other officers are also there. That were also part of the request for cash allocation to this office.
Okay, you also say You also say that investigations are underway to find out who leaked this information. What will happen if this person is identified? Sacked?
That's a straight sackable offense, Peter. It's a grievous misconduct.
Okay. And you also say that the UDP are making this statement to distract from what's been going on in the BCC and KMC. How do you mean?
Just looked at the headlines over the newspapers today, and of course the proceedings of the local government commissions yesterday. Is there for all of us to see. Such revelation is just trying to blow a cloud over it, and the public will not have none of it.
Okay. So why would the president pay for the medical bills of his mother, but is unable to pay for the airfares?
No, this is not an airfare. This was a vehicle.
Oh, it was a vehicle.
I'm saying that the payments were in respect of per diems only.
Oh, okay. Only per diems.
And yes, paid over two drivers, the chaperone, and two other security personnel.
Okay. Why does the president's mother need such a big security detail? I mean, you just told us that she's in her 90s. What would anybody want to do with a 90-year-old?
Well, the Force family, Peter, by their stature and standing, will require security somewhat. And the old lady also needs support. You understand that. So we assess and determine what is suitable and provide it.
Okay. Well, the UDP makes the point that, okay, the state may be, responsible for the president's first family, but only the first family, not extended family. Would his mother not, qualify as part of that first family?
No, the point they are making is that the president, the spouse, and the dependent, that's the kids, will qualify for paid expenses, trip expenses. In this case, maybe per diems and air tickets. And that extended family, such as mother and parents, as the case may be, will not qualify. But like I said, in this instance, none of that is applied also here. No per diem is paid to the old woman. Medical bill is not paid for the old woman. No his travel cost. That's at the expense of the president.
Maud, the point has to be made that, embarrassing leaks like this have dogged this government from the get-go. I mean, from 2017 to now, every year there's been at least one embarrassing leak. I mean, why is the government finding it hard, to instill discipline in the civil service?
Peter, to instill discipline in the civil service takes a lot of things. It takes ethics and professionalism to be part of our codes and conduct of public officials. If you have an officer with huge responsibility who have access to information, whatever he wants to do, he will do it. But like we always say, 100 days for the thief, 1 day for the master. It should not be encouraged. It's unprofessional because you not only embarrassing yourself, the government, but the state. You are not doing this to embarrass the government or the president. Actually, in most instances, it is your own country that you are hurting more. With this day and age, with technology, it's just difficult to trace it because mobile devices are everywhere. You can photocopy and choose to transfer anywhere the document, but it shouldn't happen. And it's not, you are not doing this against the president, even if you hate him, but be a professional.
And I'm sure you would associate this person with the UDP, but could it also be that this is somebody who genuinely has the interest of the country at heart? I mean, we're struggling financially, and to hear that more than $3.5 million, is being spent on the president's mother. Yes, it is important, but people will argue there are more pressing issues for the country. So this could be genuinely a person who just is worried about the way public finances are being spent and who has nothing to do with the UDP. Is that a possibility?
No, I don't want any good UDPian even do this. Let me agree with you entirely on that. Any good UDPian will not do this. Now, to your point, this officer who did this have access to the detail of the records, and he knows that nothing is adversely wrong.
You're saying You're saying
Sorry?
You're saying it could equally be a she, unless maybe you know the person.
No, I don't know. I don't know the person. If I have known that, if I know the person, he will not have spent a minute here. So I don't know. And that's why I'm inviting investigators to look into this, to check. And yes, it could be he or she. But the point I'm making is that he have access to the details of this record, and one as a professional, he should be guided by that. By the code of conduct, but knowing what he knows, having access to the information and the details, that publishing this is just basically an attempt to mislead and misinform. So he has a motive.
Okay.
Which is rather unfortunate, yes.
And who is conducting this investigation? The police?
My office is investigating this, and we'll be inviting experts in this area to also have a look.
Experts as in the police?
It could be the police, it could be intelligence officers.
Okay. Alhaji Morke Sise, Minister at the Presidency, thank you very much and sorry for the embarrassment.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Peter.
That's Alhaji. Let's bring your reaction to my interview with the Minister at the Presidency, Alhaji Morke Sise. Good morning, Peter. Is the Minister talking about sacking a public officer over this leaked document? What happens to the Access to Information Act? And this is from Francois Esmendi of Kunkujang Mariama. In other reaction, why can't the president pay for the trip? The mother of the president is not part of the first family. If the mother of the president is part of the first family, does that mean the mothers of the first lady and second lady are part of the first family? How about the brothers and sisters of the president? Are they also part of the first family? And driving her to Dakar and with state security and fueling the vehicle is the travel cost, and it's being paid for by state, which is wrong. Good morning, Peter. The informant is a genuine Gambian who is not happy about the matter. He has the right as a citizen to expose the unjust behavior that the government has. If my mother was sick, would the state pay for her? Even Barrow's immediate family are not employed civil servants. This is real corruption, and the sender signs off as Reese. Good morning, Uncle Peter. I do not buy the fact that the minister said it's only per diem. Question, how many days is this trip? Question, what is the rate at which they are paid? Question, is their hotel bills included? When these questions are answered, my doubts remains. I know they care less about what Gambians think. And another one says, please ask Motsise whether such expenditure on the president's mother should be a state secret that should lead to someone being sacked for making it public. When is disclosure of public expenditure illegal? Good morning, Peter. Our country is sad because of corruption. Good morning. That's why diaspora must exercise their right to vote. Good morning, Peter. I commend the Department of Physical Planning on their ongoing demolition work at Salaji. Please tell them to continue the good work for even access road in Salaji have been built upon. Let's go to, those were, SMS texts. Let's go to the WhatsApp. How can travel cost and per diem of only 4 officials equate to $1.4 million? Hello, Uncle Peter. If the minister thinks the payment is genuine, why is he considering it as an embarrassment?
Axel jam si Wave.
Yo, apply. Yo, luta do dede. Luta mo nulo jël moto nga andil ma xaalis. Hello?
Bësal mu fay.
What?
Bësal mu fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. Ak Wave. Bësal mu fine. Wave. Your money is yours.
Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.